did not put this bad boy down just anywhere. I swear when I was standing next to it, it seemed... I can't... Oh, wait. Yep, I can't do it now. Oh, well. How are y'all? It's Thursday, one day off from Friday. Let me turn this up. Not off, down. We're going to see what angel is going to fuck with us today. Saved you. When two come out for the beginning, I presume that two should be leading us from the rear. I feel like that's a phrase, leading from the rear. We have Rimph, the angel of time, and Remiel, the angel of visions. We also have, at the bottom, followed by Samikiel, the angel of vengeance. We have Catcher and Hod, submission and spirituality. All right. Nice vibes. Ooh. 12th house and 8th house. Two came out together. At the bottom, Neptune in 1st house. Okay then. DJ, please pick up your phone. I'm on the request line. Okay. Those were the ones for yesterday. I shuffled. I definitely didn't put them away together. So, to save us a little bit of time, you could skip to the beginning of yesterday's reading, and I will read both the 8th and the 12th house. Lord. Catcher. The remix of Hod, okay. And Remiel. Rimph. The remix of Work It is not exactly where the energy seems to be right now. Why can I only find illegal job? Felt a little bit profane, y'all. Rimph, Hod, Catcher. Y'all, I'm having such a hard time. Y'all just fast forward through that, okay? Please. I'm just going to start with Rimph, the angel of time. No, Remiel. Here we have it. Okay. Lord. Remiel, angel of visions, the shepherd of good graces, a shining light in the distance beckoning us forward into the future. The green pastures beyond the next hill are hard to see. Remiel assures us that things will get better. It whispers, something is coming and it is beautiful. Keep pushing forward toward the horizon, toward the setting sun. As the light fades, you feel as if someone is watching you. Far in the distance, you see a lone figure walking, a dove on its shoulder. You stop for a moment to marvel at this vision. When you move again, it is gone. You hear a flutter of feathers as a dove lands gracefully on your shoulder. Signs are a cane, the rising sun, and a white dove. Rimph, the angel of time. Eternally vigilant and forever burning, Rimph is the movement through space measured out with deft precision. Our footsteps upon the earth mark its passing, for we are all bound to time. One by one, we tick and tock. Every life is counted. Even as those lives pass, we are all sand and seconds and moments, all fleeting. Fire burns until it doesn't. Lives are lived until they aren't. Dreams are dreamt until we wake. Rimp stands by all of this, counting. What better unit of measure than the souls that pass through the life of Angelarium? No, through the tree of life into Angelarium. Rimp walks between the pillars of past and present, turning every corner in every second. Rimp's movements can be seen in our own, as a fulcrum between moments. Signs, a clock, a torch, a wave. Okay, then we have Hod, the left leg, submission. The eighth emanation, the force that abides. Hod is what guides us when we surrender ourselves to the flow of fate and let destiny guide our motion. Through her light, we see the boundlessness of glory. Waving our hands through the wind, we feel the air pull us upward. It's only by resigning ourselves to the forces around us that we truly experience the nature of those forces. The golden orb shines a radiant light upon our shoulders. Shoulders again. Dove on the shoulders. Supporting the pillar of severity, Hod does not press back against the weight of the tree. Instead, she simply lets it pass through her. Flow state. Flowing like water, be like water, down into the lowest portion of the diagram. Through the two opposing characteristics of Hod and Netza, relinquishing and resisting, we gain the power to move. Together they form the power to carry ourselves through the world with grace and intuition, found in prayer, nature, and mysteries. And then, Keter, last but never least, the crown, spirituality, the first emanation, the first utterance, the font of energy through which Insoft emanates into the universe. The crown sits above the head and embodies that which is beyond our comprehension. One must envision Keter not as an object that can be perceived, but as the light that is cast upon it. Keter's light is beyond knowability, a timeless expanse of pure consciousness. Only through respect for our own limitations do we begin to see the shadows of its nature. It is the dark orb beyond which lies the infinite. At the highest point on the tree, all continuums cascade downward from it. Keter stands in contrast to Malkuth, who rests at the very bottom of the tree. The span that lies between them measures the complete distance from the most physical aspects of our existence. Journeying downward from this point, all other emanations become increasingly close to our present experience, found in spiritual epiphany, faith, and humility. Okay, let me take a sip of something to drink, y'all. Okay, Neptune and the first house. I repeat, the 8th and 12th house are in yesterday's reading. Neptune in the first house. Okay. Cosmic knowledge isn't always obvious to us. Ooh, wait. I'm skipping that Neptune is considered the mystic, rules Pisces, the 12th house. Water is the element, and the symbols are the trident, seashells, water lily, boats, and dolphins. In astrology, cosmic knowledge isn't always obvious to us on a conscious level. Sometimes it trickles in like a little stream just under the surface. Neptune is a great mystic of astrology. The hard spiritual lessons and psychic awareness are taught by this planet. 12th house is the house of undoing. As an outer planet, his traits are shared by a generation and become more personal when they make close aspects to our inner planets. The positive influence of Neptune on our psyche allows us to be receptive and open to the teachings of all the universe. Everything has a story to tell, and these lessons come in the form of dreams and inspiration. This planet asks us to go beyond the trappings of consumerism and to figure out what fulfills us spiritually. If Neptune is affecting us in a negative way, it can cause delusion, yes, drug addiction, and trigger struggles with mental health. I swear this came up yesterday. Taking on the knowledge of the dark side of the world and not having ways to unburden ourselves can cause us to turn to unhealthy coping mechanisms. Also, the song by Muse, Newborn. In a reading, now's the time to retreat into solitude and do some self-reflection. A spiritual check-in is the ultimate form of self-care, especially in a world filled with a superficial noise. This constant barrage of messages that prey on our deepest insecurities can lead us down a dark path. Neptune can grant you the ability to tune out all the fakery and realign with your universal truth. What calls you on the highest psychic plane? It could be divinity, it could be beauty, it could be joy, anything. No matter what it is, you can reconnect to it by being still. If you have been engaging in self-destructive behaviors, now is the time to stop. As long as you are living on this planet, you have the choice and ability to make your life better. Don't let negative thoughts take that away from you. You have a purpose here, even if it has been forgotten. Neptune is giving you the chance to come back from the brink. Take it. Keywords: illusion, delusion, psychic ability, addiction, mysticism, spiritual needs. I feel like I heard somebody say that a lot of people who are spiritually gifted have psychic ability. Is it profanity? No, it's affinity. Oh Lord, pardon me. Pardon. Affinity for mysticism. Also struggle with mental health, depression, becoming untethered to fluid shared reality from fluid shared reality. I might have to change that station. First house, the realm of self. Ruler Aries, fire element, Mars ruled, position is angular, and the house type is creative. Pardon me. Did I say that the house type is creative? In astrology, the first house represents our outward expression and the traits we put out into the world. As an angular house, it represents the start and is the beginning of our birth chart. Ruled by Mars and the home of Aries, the energy here is very get up and go. Aries North Node right now. Our ascendant is always in the first house, regardless of what sign our ascendant is in. How we look, our mannerisms, and even the way we talk are determined by this house. So any planets that live here are going to blend with our ascendant energy and be very prominent to those around us. When a planet is transiting our first house, our expression can change in some way or bring new attention to us. I did mention that anyone who comes across this might want to check the planetary alignments, no matter what time it is that you come across this. Welcome or unwelcome, it is not something that can be avoided. In a reading, you are in the spotlight right now, and you need to take full advantage of it. Muse is playing right now. I recognize the voice. I don't know this song. Unintended is the name of the song. If you were a naturally extroverted person, this will be a walk in the park. But if you were more of an introvert, you may struggle with having all eyes on you. Be aware that this won't last for long, so do your best to use this energy to get ahead. The concept of fake it until you make it is tied to the first house. We all have different masks we need to put on from time to time to get through the day, and there is no shame in that. Using what resources you have is a smart move. And I also mentioned how things like paying attention to your posture and remembering to smile, which is a lot easier once you start practicing bodily mindfulness. I thought that this might come up. Again, because I feel like I've said it before. But when I was really young, anytime the seasons changed, I would get sick. I'd be messed up. I'm talking Vicks Vapor Rub on the skin, laying down and watching daytime television under a quilt, being hot and cold at the same time, in and out of hospitals, missing school. And through that, I learned to pay attention to what my body felt like. And I guess way back then it was more paranoia, but then it started to graduate into, oh, there are signs as well as symptoms to when you are coming down with something, when you're under the weather, when you're anxious, there's a tension in your body. I tend to carry it in my shoulders, Ace of Rockets, the moon, 4 of lasers, 4 of planets, that's wands, swords, pentacles. So, this first. The moon. Four of lasers. Four of Pentacles. And if you're under a lot of stress, trying to fake it until you make it, having such themes as 8th house, death, taxes, sex, birth, the taboo, the occult, hidden enemies, and personal things of undoing, you might be struggling with a little bit of tension, Five of Pentacles. Okay. 4, 5, 6. There's 2 4s. All secrets will be spoken. And I feel like I'm intuitively, I feel like I'm right, but I haven't gone step by step. But I think there's 3 cards before you get to 5 from the Ace of Wands. The moon, I don't believe it's not a 2. It's not. But fuck that. That's not what I'm talking about right now. That's the second card. And then it's almost kind of like a joke. I don't know, guys. I can't really explain it. I almost had it. I almost was able to say it how I see it. 7 of Wands. 4, 5, 6, 7. Hey, on holy ground our vows were broken. No matter, we broke bread. I was blue, your dress was red. Ain't it strange? We both knew this day was coming. The Magician. What's Mercury doing right now? Queen of Cups. Under the moon and the Four of Swords. And this eye always reminds me of a moon. I'm ready to let go once I'm fooling myself. I might not be the only Gemini involved in these happenings. Eight of Cups. Two of Swords. I definitely, and it stuck with me too. I thought about it several times yesterday. I even played with cards. You know, I tend to do that. If I watch really watching anything. As I've said, I've always gotten messages from media. So while I'm watching, I got the bright idea one day to shuffle while I watched and see if cards that supported the themes that I think of come out, and it's pretty neat. One day maybe I will like stream something and do it. And I would encourage that anybody else do the same. The shit is fascinating. Two of Wands. So we started with the Ace and we're ending here with the 2. That seems, I get much ado about nothing or much ado about little. Ten of Cups. Cool. Four of Wands. I wonder if this was a blunder. Going to stay together till we die. Unless I'm sure something. Cake. Knight of Pentacles. Pardon me, y'all. I feel like I even dropped off in the middle of a whole thought. I feel like the Queen of Cups, the moon, it's the Two of Swords. The fact that crescent moon that's in the classic deck, something about that crescent moon in the background. And it's not just in the background of the Two of Swords, it's also in the background of the Eight of Cups. Might even be waxing moon as opposed to a waning or vice versa. Three of Wands. Forlorn energy. Which, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but this looks pretty forlorn to me without it being so near the Five of Pentacles with the Lovers and the Two of Wands. Probably because Cake is playing, I really get the word blunder. But also, this song comes through every time I look at this card. And now it's almost like background noise. I almost didn't consciously remember it. I'm Not in Love, I think it is. It's definitely on the Guardians of the Galaxy. The Chariot? Yes. Over the Ten of Cups, Ace of Wands, the Moon, the Magician. I don't think that I would be too hasty if I said that somebody's trying to make something happen here. What's that? The King of Pentacles. I don't know when that flipped. I'm not in love. That's like the part that keeps coming through. But I can't hear those words. It's just a simple thing I'm going through. And just because I call you up, don't get me wrong, don't think you got it made. Audio slave like a stone. The Tower. The Pinnacle. The Ace of Pentacles. The Pinnacle. The Pinnacle. Six of Cups. This is interesting. Yeah. Whoa. Now I kind of feel bad. I'm like, yes! Fucking caught that card. But it's the Three of Swords, you know? In my chagrin, I shuffled a little bit more than I intended to, and here we are. Eight of Pentacles. Before I go on, I'll catch a music oracle. I knew I had so much to read, I kind of rushed a little bit. Not me rushing. That's not very flow of me. Roxanne. I was nudged to look up Cyrano de Bergerac because the theme of a dude acting like a dude playing another dude. No, not that. That's what's coming through, but that's not what the fuck it is. Is this spiritual interference? Is that what that is? I've heard people say that, you know, somebody messing with my throat chakra. I'm not mocking them, you know. Sometimes it really do be like that. But is that what's happening? Because it was right there. Eminem, which brings to mind Cinderella Man at this particular point, but Eminem and like quite a lot of his discography has been coming through, like Toy Soldiers, Soldier with Nate Dogg, The Used, Timbaland, like take your pick. In fact, with an artist like Timbaland, when I get that, or Eminem, I'm going to have to remember to tell the Voyagers to use their own intuition, because whatever song that comes up for you is probably more relevant than the one I come up with or just as. Like seasoning in a tasty soup or stew. Disclosure. An Ace of Base. I saw the sign. I know signs came up. But here we have Roxanne. Now I remember. On some reading, Roxanne came out, or it was Sting and the Police, and I said that I usually hear Roxanne, but that time it was Don't Stand So Close to Me. This time it's Roxanne, and now message in a bottle. And because the name Roxanne kept coming to me, I was like, what's so important about the name Roxanne? Yeah, I knew a Roxanne once, and she was a really cool girl, which I liked a lot because villain coded. I thought about the Matrix, and I thought that the next time I see the Matrix, I have to remember to tell you guys about villain coding. We're in a time, and this is Inherit the Wind, we're in a time where for artistic licensing and also artistic muscle flexing, I think, as well as critical theorizing, we are being shown things from the villain's perspective. But, wow, Dark Necessities, Red Hot Chili Peppers is playing. But sometimes villains are just villains. Sometimes villains look like villains too. Maybe it's because they, you know how really friendly people often have the smile lines, the crow's feet, you know, whether or not they're necessarily showing age. Well, sometimes cruel people, you know, they got the fucking, you know, like parts of their face be showing signs of wear and tear that others don't usually because of their default programming. I thought about Agent Smith and villain coding, how we are often given body language cues in cinema and photography. Six of Swords. To put us on to the scent of where the producer, director is trying to turn our heads. Well, I think God is telling us that we've left a lot behind. You don't know my mind, you don't know my kind. Dark necessities are part of my design. And I just mentioned God. What? What he said. So 6 and then 9. Nice. Fucking child. 3 of Pentacles. I think it's saying that it's a time to come out of being a hermit. I can definitely relate to that. Honoring our old heartaches by opening up once again. Because any love that you ever gave to anyone, but especially if it wasn't received with care, respect, gratitude, graciousness, then it was really a testament to you. Especially if you had, you know, a heartbreak. And especially if you had a heartbreak and you didn't, you know, act an ass. Somebody treated you dirty, had you hung up. That song came to my mind yesterday. Madonna. Even though this is the volcano, I definitely, and I don't always, see the tower with the people falling out. Well, no, one is falling out and the other one's already impaled at the bottom. That was you. Yeah. I'm not laughing at you. I've also been broke up at the bottom of the tower a time or two, you know? And as I've said in other times, I have an absurd sense of humor. That shit is kind of funny to me. Like, I can't explain why it is, other than it being absurd. I heard somewhere that there's no comedy without a victim. Well, I have been the victim in the comedy. So I feel like I got all the right in the world to laugh. One of the best riffs ever in life playing at the end of the song. I feel like I'm being rewarded. Take the little wins, but I feel like you're about to get a big win with this Wheel of Fortune. But I feel like there's somebody villain coded that if they have not already arrived from scene left, stage left, that's what I mean, that they will. The world. And you're going to have a new cycle with a new boss. And I don't want to hyperbolize this because this could seem really mundane. This could be, I don't know why the fucking example comes to me because I've never had this problem in my life. All my post people have been kind, like a post person who hates your guts, and you actually have mail that's important. It's not just J.C. Penney's fucking catalogs. And this person has spotted your light. They see something that marks you as somebody who has been through tribulation and made it out the other side, and they don't like that shit. Wow. But God's got you because you're being honored for carrying yourself with some grace. Wow. I can't say I ain't never lied in life, but I ain't lying right now. I didn't turn over a new leaf. The Emperor, the Queen of Pentacles, Judgment, Two of Cups. Ooh. Just from the way the deck was set down, I couldn't have planned it. Justice. And as I said, I don't want to be dramatic. I don't know what kind of win the gang's got coming. I guess results may vary is the disclaimer. But it's on. Fucking hey. Roxanne. Okay, so I looked it up, and no, I couldn't look it up immediately. I didn't look up Roxanne. The name Cyrano de Bergerac came to me. It had to be the Holy Spirit. It had to be God. It had to be an ancestor, somebody, because it just, well, you were looking for this? Yes, I was looking for this. Apparently it's a story ancient enough. Travel. It was in the reverse. Not sure how to take that yet, but I'll remember. Dude with they said, obnoxiously big nose, who is in love with Roxanne. Stinging the police, Roxanne. You don't have to put on the red light. Those days are over. You don't have to sell your body to the night. And he meant that. And masculine came through clear as day. Narcissism. And you know what's weird? As I was reading the Wikipedia, as far as I did, because I had things to do, about Cyrano de Bergerac, and they were telling me about every act in the play. Apparently it's a play. He's a soldier, and the dude that Roxanne is in love with is kind of a fucking idiot, but he's handsome. So, you know how that shit goes. You know, whatever. But what kind of was stumping me is why? What's so cool about Roxanne? She's clever. She's clever, she's thoughtful, you know. So I feel like the flavors that you could charge it to the game that she just has bad choice at this particular time. You know, something about this dude magnetized her The dunce dude, that is. And it also seems like Cyrano has his own, he's got mess and things going on, and he's got his own character hang-ups, you know? None of these characters are made perfect. They're all realistic. And it's the story about a guy who cares about this woman enough that he pretty much makes friends with his rival only so that he can please this woman that he loves, using him as a mouthpiece. Wild. Perseus. Glory. So, ooh. Crux. Divinity. And then Sex and Candy. Marcy Playground is playing. Enlighten. Enhance. Purity. Ascend. Cancer. Distract. I'm like, is this another love story? Ace of Base. I saw the sign. Like, I'm seeing signs of like, what are they called? Advantageous portend. Something like that. Leo, defeat. Defeated ego. Leo, the sun, it's attached to ego, right? Not all unhealthy, some healthy ego. But I get the feeling that, oh my goodness, how did I not notice that Cancer and Leo came out back to back and in order, in their proper divine order, with divinity coming before it. All encompassing divine order. After heartbreak, because you kept your passion inside, but you kept your passion while your exterior remained calm. Maybe even managing to pull it off with some flair and being loyal to yourself. That's what the fuck I like to hear. I kind of get the feeling, I don't really like the word simp. It's got a lot of heavy connotation. More than it did when it meant simpleton, like Cyrano's rival. But I get the feeling like somebody took an ego hit, but not through chasing. Maybe they took the ego hit through not chasing, not getting entangled with trying to win somebody's affections while missing them and questioning the choice, feeling time pass by and feeling as though the connection with that person might be getting away, dissipating into nothing, while it felt like it could have had a lot of potential. We saw the Ace of Swords. We saw the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Pentacles is out here. What is that? Pegasus. Nope. Manifest. Centaurus. Knowledge. Mensa. Obstacle. Mensa came out yesterday and I mentioned the organization. And then knowledge. Those are both references to the mind. And manifesting, which I'm not sure if I'm willing to say that manifesting happens from the mind. Maybe it happens from the soul. I feel like you need to be poised for something big as like a reward for your submission to divine order. And I think you're going to see the villain coming. I think this time, like the Matrix, when he is moving so quickly that it's like the bullets have slowed down. Not just slowed down, you could see the trail. So you could see where it comes from. That this time, it's not going to make it any less uncomfortable, perhaps, or any less perplexing, but that's a lot less sweat off your nose, right? Aries, sacrifice, because you've already made worthy sacrifices. I don't mean like in magical rituals to, any entities. I mean like sacrificing blockages and things in your own shadow that are in the way or were in the way, barring awakening. Fucking up your ability to imagine. Ooh, maybe you even like cracked some codes as to what has been in your 12th house of undoing. Maybe one of the major sources of dissatisfaction about your 8th house, you're rectifying. Awesome. Taking the lead in your own life. I love it. I think that's it. 47. Ooh. Here's that deception and the Virgo encompassing. Something fell off. What is it? Like I said, I think that loyalty. Yeah. I think that this time when trouble comes around, you'll be able to analyze it the whole time. And congratulations to you. And I feel like I can also say congratulations to us. I feel like I'm invited. I think we're all invited. Pardon me. Maybe you can even bring 2 of your friends. Have a good day, and I might see you guys tomorrow. I'm not sure. I might take tomorrow off. Love you. Be good.